When I think of Waymaker, I think about the inspiration for this set design, which is a song that I've been listening to for probably 8 to 9 months. And I really like the lyrics. They resonated with me. I think about how God is working even when we don't see it, even when sometimes we don't feel it, that God is always working. And so I used it kind of to build my faith up. And I would listen to it in the morning, and I would think about those situations that I wanted God to move in, and I wanted to trust God in to build my faith. I did not see my illness coming at all. I became very sick and I went to the hospital. The first doctor came in after doing the CT scan. She said, "Well, you really got your money's worth." She said, "Your appendix is ruptured." And then I had 2 surgeons walk in, and they had very serious looks on their face. And they said, "How long have you been feeling bad?" And I said, "Well, I really started feeling bad yesterday, the beginning of the week. I was a little bit sick, but it wasn't anything out of the normal." And they said, your appendix ruptured 4 days ago." They said, "Why did you not come in sooner? If you'd come in sooner, this would have been a minor thing, and now you have infection all through your abdomen. We can't do surgery because it's inflamed, and we're just gonna have to wait and see. And we're hoping that you won't even have surgery for 6 weeks. If we were to go in now, you would bleed tremendously. Your insides would shred, and you very likely would have a colostomy bag. And it's very serious." And I said, "I had no idea. I didn't have any of the symptoms of a ruptured appendix. I didn't know." And as they started telling me, all the things that now were going to take place, I began to realize how, very serious this situation was. And my first reaction was that I'm so glad I came. And Mike said, "Most people aren't happy when they get that kind of news." And I said, "Well, I'm just glad that God prompted me to come, because I wanted to put it off." God gave me peace. I trusted Him. I trusted my doctors. And for 2 days, I wasn't even allowed to have a drink of water, to take a pill. They were afraid they would take me into surgery at any time. And I know the church was praying and people were praying, and I could feel those prayers. Knowing that He's the miracle worker is when you can't sleep in the middle of the night because you are running 103 fever. It's putting that worship music on beside you and allowing it to calm you, and allowing God to give you peace and lull you back to sleep. It's walking laps in the hospital when they're saying that's going to help you heal and get things moving again, and listening to worship music in your ears and just claiming every promise of God and knowing that He's got this. And by the 3rd day, the doctor came in and said, "Your numbers are going down." And she said, "I'm going to tell you something." She said, "You are an example of how someone would miraculously survive this kind of infection and this kind of ruptured appendix." She said, "Your body, a layer of fat that's outside of your abdomen, began to move as soon as your appendix ruptured. Even though you didn't know it had ruptured, it came around all of your intestines and everything like that, and it perfectly sealed it off so that infection did not go into your body, but it was contained. And when she told me that, I was just blown away because I didn't even know I was sick. I didn't even know to pray for that. But God was already intervening and making a way even then so that I'm here today. And I know it doesn't happen in every circumstance, but I believe beyond a shadow of doubt from what I have seen, He's a miracle worker when you've prayed for someone to receive salvation for years and years, and then that person's eyes are opened and their heart is softened. I think He's a miracle worker when you've prayed for that young person who's gone away or who's been battling addiction, and then they come back and they are restored. I think God does miracles, things beyond what we can do ourselves all the time, and we don't always recognize that God is a way maker. He is a miracle worker. He is a light in the darkness. And I put my faith and my hope in Him, and I praise Him today just for how He has made a way in my life over the last 6 weeks.